Joan Vassos upset by Martha Stewart's diss to her Golden Bachelors. October 23, 2024. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Bachelor Nation News. The Golden Bachelorette star, Joan Vassos, is getting ready to visit the hometowns of her final 4 guys, but Martha Stewart talked about how she turned down the opportunity to be in Joan's shoes. While that might twinge a bit, Joan was more upset by Martha's careless diss about her Golden Bachelors. Joan Vassos isn't okay with Martha Stewart's remark about her men. While Martha Stewart is getting a surge of attention lately, Joan Vassos doesn't appreciate how she talks about her beloved Golden Bachelorette men. Undeniably, Joan has a great group of guys that have been going through the journey with her. However, Martha disregarded them in one fell swoop with a shot to the heart over their looks. She casually talks about turning down big bucks because the guys weren't hot enough for her, but Joan is built differently than Martha. While Martha is parading her unfaithfulness with her husband, Joan is declining beds in the fantasy suites to keep the intimacy more special. Even with Martha's snide remark, Joan wasn't going to stand for it. She is pushing back after the upsetting diss was made. After Martha Stewart publicly cast off Joan Vassos' Golden Bachelors, Joan wanted to set the record straight. She says, "I DM'd her last night. I don't know if she's read it yet, but I did." Joan tells Access Hollywood on October 22. "I said, dating is hard out there, and I had a great group of guys. She doesn't know 'em like I know 'em. I got to know the inside of them as well as the outside, and both are wonderful." For Joan, her guys were the greatest group any woman could ask to have. The team did a great job of picking them. What they're about and their backstories, they're all so wonderful. Joan Vassos can't say enough wonderful things about her suitors. Furthermore, she adds, they are there for a reason. When they got out of the limos that first night, every single one of them did something memorable and made me want to get to know them more. Is Martha Stewart blind? Undoubtedly, Joan Vassos thinks Martha Stewart is missing out. She says, "I guess Martha Stewart didn't watch or didn't see what I saw in them." Then, Joan gives her some benefit of the doubt, saying, "Maybe you have to be in person." However, Joan still doesn't understand how Martha could flippantly insult them. Joan says, "They are special guys." Furthermore, she thinks many Americans see what she sees. "I feel like everyone's falling in love with them." I'm like, what's wrong with you, Martha? Although Joan is still waiting for a reply from Martha Stewart, she is open to the idea of inviting her to the Golden Bachelorette finale so she can see up close what she is missing out on. However, after dissing the guys, they probably won't want to date the 83-year-old. What do you think about Joan Vassos blasting Martha Stewart for dissing her guys? Do you think Martha will respond? Are you excited to see the hometowns with Joan on the Golden Bachelorette? Drop your comments below. Today, we're diving into some drama brewing between the Golden Bachelorette star Joan Vassos and lifestyle icon Martha Stewart. With Joan preparing for hometown visits with her final 4 suitors, the last thing she needed was a public slight from someone like Martha. Yet that's exactly what happened. Stewart turned down an opportunity to be the Golden Bachelorette, and in doing so, threw a major diss at Joan's Bachelors. Now, Joan is standing up for her men, pushing back against what she feels was an unnecessary and hurtful comment. Let's break down what went down between these 2 powerhouse women and how Joan is handling it all. Martha Stewart recently revealed that she had been offered the role of the Golden Bachelorette but turned it down, citing that the men weren't hot enough for her. This offhanded remark instantly drew attention, and it's no surprise that Joan Vassos took it personally. Martha's comment, while perhaps meant to be humorous, came off as dismissive of the entire journey that Joan and her suitors have been on. Joan has been open about how much she values her bachelors, not just for their looks, but for their character, charm, and the unique connections they've developed along the way. While Martha might have turned down the opportunity, Joan was fully embracing the experience, making Stewart's remarks sting that much more. Joan wasn't going to let the comment slide. During her interview with Access Hollywood on October 22, Joan revealed that she decided to address the issue head-on by sending Martha a direct message. Joan's approach was calm and classy. As she explained, "I DM'd her last night. I don't know if she's read it yet, but I did." In her message, Joan told Martha that dating is hard, and she felt lucky to have had such a great group of men to share the experience with. "She doesn't know him like I know him," Joan added, emphasizing that her connection with the men went beyond surface-level appearances. Joan continued to sing the praises of her bachelors, defending their character and the bond they've built throughout the season. "I got to know the inside of them as well as the outside, and both are wonderful," Joan said, taking pride in the fact that her journey was about more than just physical attraction. It's clear that Joan feels a deep affection for her suitors, and she wasn't going to let Martha's careless words tarnish that. For Joan, her suitors are not just a group of men looking for love. They are a reflection of her own values and what she's looking for in a partner. "The team did a great job of picking them," Joan said, highlighting the effort that went into finding the right men for her journey. She believes that each of her final bachelors brings something unique and special to the table. "What they're about and their backstories, they're all so wonderful," Joan gushed, clearly touched by the relationships she's formed. From the very first night, Joan was struck by how her suitors made an impression on her. "Every single one of them did something memorable and made me want to get to know them more," she shared. This statement emphasizes that Joan's experience has been about building meaningful connections, rather than just evaluating the men based on appearances. Joan Vassos didn't hold back when it came to expressing her disappointment in Martha's comment. "I guess Martha Stewart didn't watch or didn't see what I saw in them," Joan said, pointing out that the men's true value lies beneath the surface. Joan even suggested that maybe Martha would feel differently if she got to meet the men in person. "Maybe you have to be in person?" Joan wondered, giving Martha the benefit of the doubt. Despite Joan's open invitation for Martha to see her suitors in a new light, she remains confused as to why Stewart would make such a flippant remark in the first place. "They are special guys," Joan reiterated, adding that she believes many Americans watching the show have fallen in love with the men just as she has. "I'm like, what's wrong with you, Martha?" Joan said, still baffled by Stewart's harsh critique. As of now, Martha Stewart has yet to respond to Joan's DM or make any public statement addressing the diss. However, Joan seems hopeful that there's still a chance for the two women to clear the air. In fact, Joan even extended an olive branch, inviting Martha to attend the Golden Bachelorette final. Joan hopes that if Martha were to see the men up close and in action, she might change her mind and realize what she's been missing out on. But even if Martha does take Joan up on the offer, it's unlikely that her suitors would be interested in pursuing a relationship with the 83-year-old lifestyle guru after such a public insult. Joan's men are fiercely loyal, and they've already been through enough ups and downs throughout the season without adding an unnecessary feud to the mix.